All right, well, we got to see a little bit of Ashton Jeanty here in this game, and I figured, hey, let's make a film study on it, even if it's going to be a short one here. It's not the shortest one I made so far this preseason, but yeah, we saw a few touches. Quite frankly, he didn't have a lot to do in a lot of these plays, so like first, the one you see on your screen. Really, the main thing I want to highlight on this play is going to be really you get a good push by the interior offensive line on this play. Watch how when it begins, they do drive the Seahawks defensive line pretty far back, a few yards further back. At first, you're thinking maybe there's something here. One of just kind of the issues, though, for Ashton Jeanty is where do you run in this scenario? You can just kind of run into the pile, I suppose, but there isn't like a clear lane to get forward. Because of that, he eventually gets tackled without really being able to do too much more than that. So, that's kind of really, that's one play, but that's what we mostly saw in this preseason performance. Like heading over to this next play, it's going to be pretty similar. Again, this is going to be a rush to the left on this one. Watch as Jeanty's going to get the ball, and again, where do you run in this situation? You can't cut back. There's a defender in that area. You can't really, you can't run forward. There's no space for you to run. Can't bounce to the outside. Someone has set the edge there. So there's really only so much you can do. And again, that's kind of the life of a running back, right? Like, while there's the whole running back value discussion, which has been talked to death at this point, like, there are just plays where there isn't a lot he can do. And as you see, not going to be able to, do much of anything on that play. Again, there was no scenario where he was going to be able to do much on that play. It wasn't going to happen. Although I will say, like, going over to something like this, we did see a flash here. I won't say flashes from him because it was really just a one play. But here, it's going to be obviously it's going to be a handoff. Actually, I'm going to show a play that isn't a handoff in just a second. But watch what happens. A Seattle player reads this really well, shoots through the gap, is into the backfield, has an opportunity to make a play. I mean, this is good job by him, but we're going to see the Ashton Jeanty that we saw in college just for a little bit. Watch him be able to pull off like a spin move, jukes him out, doesn't go anywhere. There's nowhere for him to go outside of that. You want to see him get some more space. Kind of disappointing that the Raiders offensive line wasn't able to do that in this game. Give credit to the Seahawks defensive line. And again, it's preseason. Guys are trying different stuff, right? Like it's not, it's nothing to be concerned about long term or anything like that. But just would have been fun to see him get a little bit more running lanes in this game. Heading over here, this is the only one I would say is like kind of underwhelming, I guess. Like the other plays are whatever. Like what are you supposed to do in some of those situations? This is going to be a receiving play, so it's man coverage. You see the linebacker I've circled. That's the guy who's going to be covering Ashton Jeanty, and Jeanty's going to be running a route on this play. At least when this play begins, that's what he's supposed to be doing. You see right here, though, linebacker creates contact. I actually at first thought he was blocking on this play, but that's not what's happening. You just give him by other routes. That's not what he's supposed to be doing here. Linebacker just stepped up. If you're make contact before the line of scrimmage, well, then it's not going to be a penalty, right? So just not being able to get cleanly to his spot, and really he just didn't get there quick enough. So he needs to be a little bit more aggressive on these types of plays. Like as you see, he was never able to run a route on that one, and essentially you had to play with 4 eligible receivers instead of 5 on that play. So yeah, not ideal. Again, it's one rep, right? And NFL game speed is different. That's why you play preseason, to get used to the NFL game speed. So no big deal or anything like that, but it is something worth mentioning. So yeah. As a whole, I mean, listen, was this an underwhelming performance? It's hard to say that. He got such a small sample size. He really didn't get an opportunity to show what he can do. I'm not going to say that. I think it was whatever. But I guess it still was underwhelming just because I was excited to see him play. I was hopeful this would go really well, and it just, we didn't get to see much. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on his performance. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.